Hello, what's up Wednesday? I love Wednesdays. So today we're going to tackle some really great issues on anxiety. Somebody wrote in regarding being in a relationship and, anxiety or depression. It is a big issue, especially right now in our society with all the uncertainty. The numbers of depression and anxiety are creeping up, so we need to be more empathetic and compassionate. So today I really want to talk more specifically on how to cope and navigate people going through anxiety and depression. So James writes, I've been dating this lovely woman who has been dealing with anxiety and depression for over 13 years. I met her in a stage where she was on an up versus a down. Her genuine heart and care for life is magnificent. Unfortunately, when she hits these dark pockets of fear and anxiety, she becomes extremely paralyzed and dark. I don't know how to pull her out of it. Any advice on how to love someone who is dealing with anxiety and depression? Wow. Thank you so much for submitting that. It is intensely wild to be in a relationship with someone who's either dealing with bipolar, anxiety, depression, or any other kind of mental illness. And to be the one who is supporting the person who's navigating that is intense. And it's also extremely intense to be the person who is experiencing those things. The amount of shame and fear of being abandoned because of dealing with these mental illnesses or struggles can be what also keeps the fear of anxiety and depression sparked. So thank you so much for writing this in, because I do think it's a topic that needs to be addressed. And I don't think a lot of us talk about anybody who is the support system around depression or anxiety or any of these other mental illnesses as much as the people who are going through it. So I want to do this in two parts. I'm going to talk today about the people who are supporting them. And later on, maybe next week or the week after, I want to talk about skills and tools to help navigate anxiety and depression, because I think you all know I am very passionate about lost voice, and anxiety and depression are two other forms, along with other mental illness cases, that talk about those belief systems, those traps where we feel stuck. So today, let's focus on exactly what this email sent me so I can stay on task today, because I will get off on a tangent about anxiety and depression. But let me first give you a big understanding of anxiety and depression. Anxiety is all focused on fear of the future. It is a desire or a need to try to control the outcome. It is a controlled-based fear, and can be such, and it lives more in the dwelling mind. I think if you've been following me for a while, you know I talk about the thinking mind and the contemplation mind. So just so you can keep track of where this mind lives, it's predominantly in the space of a dwelling mind, where it's really stuck in this pattern of fear of the future. Now, depression is lack of expression, but more based on past. It's, the beliefs of not enough, it's not lovable. They're both not lovable, likable, shame stories. So they're both stuck in this belief of, I am not worthy. And a lot of the times they use their outer world to validate the inner world of those beliefs. So that's why it's so difficult to be in a relationship with someone like that, because a lot of the times, if you're not in a very happy space, your behaviors can add to their story. So it's very important to understand you're allowed to be human. It's not about always pulling them up and picking them up and holding them and making them feel safe, because a lot of the work is their own work. And so it's important to be empathetic and compassionate and patient with these kinds of people as we navigate some of these belief systems. But it's not your job to fix them. And it's certainly not your job to play doctor and help them figure it out, whether they should be medicated or not, or any of those things. That is an individual journey, I believe. And I think that there are many tools like meditation. And if you are in a relationship with someone who does deal with anxiety, depression, or any other mental illness, meditation is key for you. It really is. I think it's key for everyone. So I'm just going to say that blanket statement. Another great thing for you to do is, again, going back to morning pages, documenting your own emotions and what you're feeling to help navigate what's showing up in the relationship is a great way to discern and keep track of what's your responsibility and what's somebody else's. Really being in a relationship that is invested and truly based on love, it is more about not what the other person is doing, but holding healthy boundaries. Complete compassion. True selfless compassion is a person who's understanding and has healthy boundaries. So we cannot be enablers. If you're going to be in a relationship with a person who's dealing with anxiety, depression, we cannot be enablers and we cannot be fixers. So compassion. Compassion is the idea here, and life filled with empathy for yourself and others. So navigating a relationship like this can be very tricky, but be kind, be loving to yourself and the person you're with. Sending you love.